Hello everyone, my name is Jamin. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. In this video, I have an Aspire 7 A715 laptop. I'm going to show you how to get in, access your fan assembly heatsink area with your CPU, that whole area there. So first step, power down your computer the correct way. Make sure it's off and unplugged from your charger. We're then going to flip it over to access our bottom case screws. So you have these 4 screws along the bottom edge of my screen here, these 2 near the top on the left, these 3 on the right hand side, these 2 near the top middle, and then these 2 in the middle of the bottom case. So quite a lot of screws. After removing those screws, we're going to take a small, flat, preferably plastic pry tool and go across the seam of the bottom case and pry it up from the rest of the computer. I say plastic pry tool because in this situation, metal's going to scratch your case a lot more than plastic will. So I tend to go with a hard plastic pry tool like a guitar pick. But you're going to start on one end, work your way down the side. Don't put the pry tool too far in. You could damage some internal components. Just keep it right on the edge and be firm but slow. If you get stuck somewhere, leave it, go to the other side, and go around in the other direction. So once you get your bottom case off, this is what you're looking at for the inside of your computer. So as a general computer repair side note, whenever I'm working on a computer in my shop, I have it sitting on an anti-static mat. Either that or an anti-static bracelet are great ideas to avoid damaging anything in your computer when you're working on it. If you would like any help with any tools or supplies to help you in your computer projects, there'll be a link above. Also below in the description, it'll be a list of a lot of the tools and supplies that I use in my shop. So before I do anything in a computer, I always remove or at least unplug my battery. A computer is safer to work on when as little power as possible is running through it. Your battery is right here towards the bottom, and it's held in by these 2 screws, one on either side near the top corners, and it plugs into the motherboard right there. So if you're looking to remove your battery, you would undo those 2 screws, and then right here, if you look at your plug, your white plug, there's a good sized grip on either side. So you can put your fingernails or a pry tool in that grip and pull it out of that port. As with any cables in a computer, we want to try to avoid pulling on the wires themselves when at all possible. We could damage the plugs. So we always want to pull or manipulate the actual plugs themselves rather than pull on the wires. Okay, so now that the battery has been removed or at least unplugged, it's safe to proceed deeper into the computer. So here's your fans right there and your heatsink assembly going over CPU, GPU. You have a screw right here for the fan, another screw right here, and then a screw there. And some of you may have a screw there. Mine didn't. The computer may have already been entered. But that's how you would release the fans. And then for the heatsink, you have 2 screws here, and then 2 screws here, and a single screw here. So that's how you would access your fan, your heatsink assembly. If you're here because your computer is overheating, there will be a video link above and in the description. It'll be a tutorial on how to deal with an overheating laptop. You're going to want to clean your fans out as well as possible, your vents, make sure that's all clean. While you're in here, you might as well vacuum or blow this whole area out. However, one big thing to note is when you're in here, if you ever remove your heatsink assembly for any reason and you expose the thermal paste to air, you definitely want to reapply it. So that video will also show you how to clean off all the old thermal paste. You don't want to add new stuff on top of old stuff. And then it'll show you how to apply thermal paste correctly. Also, a thing to keep in mind, cheaper thermal paste is going to be cheaper. And the more expensive stuff usually is going to do a better job at facilitating that heat transfer out. So just keep in mind with thermal paste, you do get what you pay for. I'll have some thermal paste options below in the description in that link I told you about with all the tools and supplies for repair projects. I'll also have another link down there. It'll give you a lot of the replacement and upgrade parts for this computer if you are looking at upgrading anything or if you need to replace anything that breaks in the future. So I hope this was helpful. This is how you get inside your computer, access your fan, heatsink assembly. Thanks again so much for watching. Please remember to like and share if this helped you out, if you think it can help someone else out. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoy DIY computer content like this, or if you just want to keep me on hand to answer any of your future computer questions, I do try to answer all questions throughout my channel at least a couple times a day. Also, feel free to check out the related links section below in the description. From time to time, I do try to add things in there that I think will help you with your general computer life, make it more productive, more enjoyable. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.